Oh, you know what takes what? We gotta go. We gotta go. It's after 6. And
We're live.
We gotta go. We gotta go. It's after 6. We gotta go. That's a lot of what we hear. Hi, everybody. How are you? Hey, Chris Paul, welcome back.
Hey, Sybil Wilkes, good to be back.
It's good to have you back. Did you have a good vacances?
Yes, I had a very good. We had a business trip and we had a pleasure trip. Huggy Lowdown and I performed. We performed in Cleveland, Ohio, and then we flew down to Mexico to hang out with the Fly Jock.
Yeah, you had quite the group there together, and some members of the old gang together again.
That's right. We're hanging out with Damon and Myra J, and it was a whole lot of fun. Tom treated us so swell. I mean, he put us up in a villa. We had our own wait staff. Why the hell did we have to come home? That was the worst part about it. Having to leave.
Right.
I'm like, why are they building a wall? They should build a wall to keep us from going to Mexico. That's how good it is down there. They should be building a wall.
You all stay home. We got it down here.
Right.
And you also you went to the soul and jazz music festival.
Right, the Cabo Soul Festival, and then that ran right into the Soul Jazz Festival, and it was great. We saw Kim, we saw War, we saw, who else did we see? Gerald Albright. It was just a crazy, crazy week. Crazy.
Yeah.
My wrist is killing me.
Your wrist?
Constant shots. You know, Tom.
Constant
tequila shots. Yeah, they got to change my form. By the end of the week, I was using 2 hands.
Well, let me ask you this. Do you think that this is what is precluding your boy Huggy Lowdown from participating today?
No. He's recovered from that. He was probably recovering from drinking last night, but not drinking at Cabo.
Poor Huggy, he's not feeling well today, so we welcome him back next week. Hopefully he'll be in better form. He said he had a bad cold and he's really feeling bad. Yeah. Hope he doesn't have the vid. And isn't that what we always say now? You got the vid? But also...
Wow. Well, he's vaccinated, though.
Yeah. And?
He's not here. What the hell? Start the rumor. Go ahead. Huggy got that vid.
Got the vid, man. And also, we want to continue to send out our love and condolences to Coy Malone. She lost her dad last week, and hopefully she'll be back with us soon. And missing her and talking about social justice issues. And her dad was a very big supporter of Coy's, and also encouraged her, loved seeing her on this platform, as well as gave her some tips on some stories to cover. So we really are very sorry for her loss. And of course,
does she still have her mom? Is her mom still here?
Yes, her mom is still here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought she was in that club of us who were walking around with nobody.
Right. Mother's Day, Father's Day.
We got nobody.
Yeah. So, but she is lucky enough to have a really supportive group of people around her. So we look forward to her. And I think her dad is going to be memorialized this weekend. So we look forward to seeing her as soon as she is ready to come back. All right, Chris. So we know that a lot of stuff happened while you were down in Mexico, but everything is still, it's at a rapid pace. Every day there's something different. And we're going to talk about, through this hour, we're going to talk about a great story that you wrote and contributed to the What You Need to Know newsletter today, something that is a great conversation that we often have, but also bringing folks up to date on this particular issue of race norming. So today, the Department of Justice has announced that they have recovered some of the ransom paid to dark side actors, as they call them. They announced they have successfully seized millions of dollars in cryptocurrency that the Colonial Pipeline paid to the cyber criminal group DarkSide following last month's ransomware attack. And of course, you remember that because it led to the pipeline to shut down its operations. And that's when gas, especially on the East Coast, was extremely high, just
Right.
skyrocketed, and before the Memorial Day holiday, and a lot of folks
long lines at the gas station. And where I am in Virginia, a lot of gas stations were just out of gas, and it really was crazy. They've kept the prices high though. The thing is flowing again.
Yeah. But this is also the time where they change the gas. And so they bring out the summer gasoline, like the wardrobe, which is supposed to be more conducive to the weather and people traveling and what have you. I don't know what that means, but that's what the way they pronounce it. And they also say that summer gas is higher. And so I guess once the ransomware, and the prices went up, they said, we'll just keep it to where it is, and see if anybody notices. Yeah, we notice, but it is still up high. How much are you paying?
Everything is a damn scam. Well, around here, I paid last time I filled up, it was $3.89 a gallon.
Oh my God!
Premium.
Is that premium?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, so you have one of those cars. Okay. I paid.
Not for long, but I have it now.
In Dallas the other day, I paid $2.50 for regular unleaded.
Wow.
And that was with, they took 5 cents off because it was one of those Shell, you get 5 cents off. You're part of their Shell gas club or something like that. So it was about $2.55, and I ended up paying $2.50. It was like a couple of days ago, so I don't know what that means. But anyway, the Department of Justice has found and recaptured the majority of the ransom Colonial paid to the Dark Side Network in the wake of last month's ransomware attack. They are always unacceptable, yeah, but when they target critical infrastructure, we spare no effort in our response. That from the Deputy Attorney General, Lisa Monaco, at today's news conference. And they turned the tables on Dark Side, going after the entire ecosystem that fuels ransomware and digital extortion attacks, including criminal proceeds in the form of digital currency. So since this attack of the pipeline, there was also attack of meat packing plants. Remember that was not too long ago, and that affected the price of meat. They say that this is not going to stop. Yolanda was telling me about a story on 60 Minutes last night, talking about how this is going to continue, and it's going to affect us in terms of taking over our own personal bank accounts. As well as the internet and things like that. And so this is the beginning of what we're going to see. But this is also something that the president promises he's going to take Vladimir Putin to the woodshed about this week when they meet. The president is going on his first overseas trip, and one of the meetings that the primary meeting that has been set up. I mean, he's going to go visit the Queen and yada yada yada, but also he's going to talk to Vladimir Putin about not getting away with all the stuff he got away with during the Trump administration, but also talking about these dark companies that have been trying to hold our country hostage in a number of areas.
Weren't you shocked to find out that they were paying ransoms? I mean, I thought this country was badass. We don't negotiate with any terrorists.
Right. And $5 million, Chris. I mean, yeah. Absolutely. I was shocked. I got to tell you, I don't know if I was thinking like, what's the guy who does all the movies, the ransom movies?
Liam Neeson.
Liam Neeson. Yeah. And I thought they were going to go badass like him. We're not paying this. I'm just going to come and get your ass. Like
I was thinking of Mel Gibson in Ransom. Give me back my pipeline. But the hacking is so bad. I mean, the hackers, the last thing they pulled off, they hacked Anthony Davis's groin last week, and the Lakers lost. They hacked his groin.
And the Russians said, "Hey, that wasn't on."
It cost the Lakers. Lakers lost. It's terrible. It's terrible.
And I don't think that LeBron is still talking to anybody after that. So, Definitely want to talk to you. I'm not sure you are one of our go-to sports guys, and you have a wealth of knowledge. I'm not too sure how much in front of the television you were for the gymnastic trials this weekend that were held in my backyard here in Fort Worth.
Oh, I didn't actually watch it live, but because of Simone Biles, there's a plethora of clips available on social media, and she's incredible.
Yeah, she really is, and showed just how great she really is. Acknowledged to be the GOAT of women's gymnastics, greatest of all times, and came to the U.S. Championships this weekend, all but a lock to win her 7th U.S. all-around title, and that she did. We have some video on Simone, or at least some photos of her in action.
Here we go.
Absolutely incredible.
She really
little known fact, all Black women can do that if you hit it right. That's how they come to bed.
You know what?
Doing it right.
I did not know that.
That's a little known. Yep, you see that?
That's how we do it?
That's how you jump into bed.
Wow. I've been doing something wrong, just kind of slithering under the
It's not your fault. I blame him. Don't blame. It's not your fault. You got a bad coach.
I need a better
coaching.
coach.
You need a better coach.
All right. Can you get me a better coach? Okay, please. Okay.
If you're not putting chalk on your hands first, you're messing up, Sybil, though. Yeah. Work on your grip. Work on your grip.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah.
So Simone is again #1, and I think we have a picture of the rankings there as it ended up on Sunday. And I want you to take a look at there she is at #1, all around 2021 U.S. Championships. There you have it. Senior women all around #1 at 119 and some points. Look down to #7, tied for #7 is Young Sky Blakely. Young Sky Blakely is from Dallas, Fort Worth. And I think we have a picture of Sky. Sky is from Dallas, Fort Worth, and her grandfather, according to our friend Barbara Dunn Harrington, her grandfather went to school with Tom and Albert Joyner, as well as Barbara. So he's a proud grandpa here in Dallas, and we are looking for young Sky, who is 16, looking for great things from her as well. Congratulations.
16 years old. And by the time Simone Biles stops competing, that young lady will be on top. And that's just amazing. We're going to be running this thing for a long time.
Isn't that great?
A long time. Yes.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah. It is great. And so we'll keep an eye on young Sky, as well as the GOAT, Simone Biles. I mean, she just flips anytime. She flipped, what was it? The Houston Astros home opener in the World Series. And I think she flipped before she threw out the first pitch. She is just incredible. Amazing.
I saw one clip. She did a move called the Biles. It had never been done before in any competition. It's her own move. Yeah. And it's named after her.
It's named after her, and they're trying to nitpick and trying to find some things because they had never seen it before. But you can't. I mean, how do you compare it to what's been done before? Because it hasn't. But that's how the judges do. They'll look for something.
She's a superhero, man. She's an actual superhero.
She really is. Which I think would be a great job for her after all of this is over, is to go on the big screen and to be a superhero. I absolutely think, and take that onto the big screen for young girls and boys to see. Not so good news for our champion of all time, Serena Williams. She was bounced out of the French Open this weekend in the 4th round. And so we will wait for her to come back and get in another Grand Slam as we go forward.
She's just tired. You know how long she's been waiting for them to catch up to her? She's tired. She wasn't even looking like herself out there.
She really didn't. And And Chris, did you hear her, like, when she was, I think it was in the third round, and she was, just trying to get herself up and psyched up, and she's like, that's not me, and come on, and you got this isn't what you do, and things like that. And so I think she just needs to get back into the swing of things, and if you'll pardon the pun, and hopefully she'll come back in the next Grand Slam bigger and better than ever. But for the French Open, just not for us to have our girls out there, Naomi as well as Serena. So hopefully.
And then Roger Federer, he pulled out, and nobody said shit. They didn't say shit. He said he did what's best for his body, and that's what Naomi Osaka said. She was doing what's best for her body.
Yes.
But she was still gonna play though. She wasn't gonna do an interview.
No, Roger Federer is completely different. White man, completely different than a young biracial girl.
Right.
So, Chris, are you voting tomorrow, or have you voted?
No, I'm voting tomorrow. My wife told me I'm voting. I didn't even realize it. Yes, we're voting now. She's doing the research for us on who we're voting for.
Okay.
It's not a bunch of high-profile names, but it's important that you vote in these smaller elections.
Yeah, these are the statewide elections. Okay, so you're not talking president and
No, right. These are the ones that our people will drop the ball on. You got to vote for all of these.
You got it. All politics is local, and the state of Virginia and the state of New Jersey are having their primary elections tomorrow. Now, in Virginia, it's really interesting. I don't know if you knew this, but when you vote for a governor, they only have one term. They don't even get 2 terms. This is the limit, 1 term, and then you're done for a while. So now in the Democratic primary, a former governor, Terry Mcauliffe, is running. They're against 2 Black women, both by the name of Jennifer, and the current lieutenant governor, Justin Fairfax, is running, but he's been running for quite a while, but he's way down in the polls, but because of alleged cases of rape against him. A couple of women have charged him with rape or attempted, and so he has never gotten the real momentum that he had when he was running for lieutenant governor.
Right. I mean, surprised he was able to stay in office. I mean, he and the governor at the same time. The actual governor got caught wearing blackface.
Yep. When he was
and then Justin Fairfax's scandal hit. Yeah. So
exactly right. Yeah. So they both weathered those, but now Northam will be gone after his term expires, and Justin Fairfax is trying to become the next.
Are we
governor.
Sure Northam's not running again? You sure he's not one of the Black women? You sure he's not wearing makeup?
And calling himself Jennifer?
Right. We need to be sure.
That's a good question. So let me do my research on that and get back to you on that.
Please do, before tomorrow.
But Terry Mcauliffe has been the governor of Virginia, and you leave office and then you can come back. And so he's hoping for another term after years away. He has served as the chairman of the Democratic National Committee. He's known as a fundraiser. He's got an ish load of money in his war chest, and I think he is leading in the polls by some 49%, and the next highest are like 11 and 9% by the 2 Black women. One is a current delegate, and the other is a former state delegate there in Virginia. So we'll see. We'll watch that. Now, the big question in New Jersey, which is another state lost by Donald Trump in the 2020 election, is who likes Donald Trump best? And all of these Republicans who are running for the Republican nominations, like, I like him best, or no, I like him best. And so you've got 4 white men running for, 3 white and 1 brown man. He is of Indian descent, Eastern Indian descent. And they are all claiming to be favored by Donald Trump. But
these Republicans kiss Donald Trump's ass so much. That's why he's wearing his pants backwards, trying to trick him into some oral.
So
that's why he's wearing his pants backwards, Sybil.
So can we talk about that as we get into the What You Need to Know newsletter? Yeah. Because this has been I saw it, but I chose not to address it in the newsletter. But I'm not surprised. But the people who are just giving him grief for either their pull-on pants or whatever, but we'll talk about that. I was mistaken. Before we move on, I was mistaken about the French Open because another one of our young favorites, Coco Gauff, won.
Oh, she's still in it.
Oh, she's right. Still in it. Yeah. Thank you, Maria. And others who are reminding me that Coco Gauff is still in it. And I love that little girl. So that was really on me. I'm sorry.
And she's still teamed up with Venus too, right? In doubles?
Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. I believe they are. Yeah. Yeah. Chris, before we move on any further, are you a big tennis fan? Or are you kind of, like the rest of us, you watch with the black folks, or have you always been a bit?
Yes. I'm like, it's like watching the Price is Right. It's only good when there's a black contestant.
Now you are of an age. Did you watch, or did your parents watch Arthur Ashe, especially as a Virginian?
My dad did. But I was always aware of him, so I must have just absorbed him by being around my dad watching TV. Yeah.
God, I loved Arthur Ashe. So just thinking about that. All right, it's time for today's trending video, and do we have both of the videos, Yolanda? Okay, so this is one video that has been going and making the rounds, and I just want to get your thoughts on this one, Chris. Let's go with this first. The shade room, the couple.
For the third time, the beach has always been there for us. So it's time we're there for it. That's what grows with the.
So, Chris, was this real? or as Myra J says, are these just people just looking for some attention and trying to get their numbers up on their social media?
I don't know what I just witnessed. What the hell was that? What the hell was happening?
So they're in the middle of the Atlanta freeway, right? And the cars move and then this one car just stops. You see the couple making out there. Like they're ready to almost lay down on the front of that car, on the hood of the car, and then they moved over to the side, and then the video stopped. I don't know if anyone has any additional video on that.
I think I've been conditioned by watching so many different viral videos. I'm conditioned to have expectations of what's going to happen next. So I'm like, I don't know if they're about to fight. I don't know if they're about to, I don't know if they're about to get hit by a car. I don't know if something racist is about to happen. So I couldn't even focus on what was actually happening because I'm just bracing myself.
Yeah.
So they didn't do anything. They
were just there making out there, and then all of a sudden, like, okay, player, see ya, and then they just scooted off to the left there. But so I'm wondering if people saw any, and if you did see any more to this, we can try to find it, or you can send it to us. But for people who are watching today, I know a lot of people have seen it and are like going, what the hell? What? And like you, what did I just see here?
And they're successfully going viral because of this.
That's
crazy.
Exactly.
Wow.
Okay, so Dora says she missed it. Can we play it again for her? And then we can see it. And we're also going to play something that
for the third time, the beach has always been there for us. So it's time we're there for it. That's what grows with the.
That's Atlanta, you said?
Atlanta.
And they have terrible traffic. Why? Because of those Negroes.
And people are saying, and Carolyn is saying, looking for attention. It's just let's just run their asses over. That was on Facebook with Carolyn. So
that's what I was expecting to happen.
And a struggle for significance. Tracy, yes, on Facebook. Yes, a struggle. Wow, that's a great title. We should call that for all of these videos now that just seem so unrealistic. A struggle for significance. Well, Chris, tell me this. Your TikTok, Was this a struggle for significance for people who don't know? Let's go to Chris Paul's TikTok.
Meanwhile, down in the craziest fuck capital of the U.S., also known as Florida, a 53-year-old white woman went crazy inside of an Outback Steakhouse. And not just any 53-year-old white woman, a butt-naked 53-year-old white woman. She climbed up on the Outback bar and started breaking bottles and glasses and jars. She even threw the fucking napkins and straws all over the damn place. Now, eventually, the police came in and tased her ass. But damn, what's going on, Florida? It's hard enough to get y'all to wear a mask, but now y'all won't even wear bras and drawers? 53 years old and butt naked. But good news for her, she is officially the first woman to ever get naked after going to Outback.
Chris, what the what?
They sure did tase the hell out of her. My video wasn't long enough to show it, but this one cop came in and he was not playing. He had a boner and a taser in his hand. And he hit her with both.
Chris,
I don't know what they do in Florida. I mean,
and when you ever hear those kind of contests that they have, and people, is this news or is it fake news? Is it real or is it Donald Trump? That kind of thing. And usually when it comes out of Florida, you say, oh yeah, that's
right.
That's real news.
Right.
But this is another example, and I found it difficult to believe she was 53 because she did not look like, I don't know what your average 53-year-old looks like, but she certainly looked considerably younger.
Right.
But what was in her blooming onion that made her just do this?
I have no idea, and I don't know. I don't know. They haven't said anything about it. I saw the video of it after it happened, but no one said anything about drugs or if she just snapped. I don't know what. Maybe she used to work there. I don't know.
Man, I don't know either, but but I loved your commentary, and definitely Chris Paul on the naked Florida woman on TikTok. You want to check that out. Absolutely. All right, Chris Paul, we were going to move to the What You Need to Know newsletter, and I am going to go all the way down because I want to highlight your story. Chris Paul wrote a story and contributed to the What You Need to Know newsletter today regarding race norming in the NFL. And he said, what you need to know is whenever a breaking news story involves the NFL and race, you can be certain it ain't going to be good. And when I saw the AP headline, NFL pledges to halt race norming, review Black claims, I knew America's favorite sport was at it again. So, Chris, you're talking about the $1 billion settlement that they are paying out to former players who suffered from brain damage. But
the way they measure brain damage to determine your payout, when it comes to the Black players, they run tests on them based on the whole premise that Black people are just naturally born slower than white people.
Not as smart.
We're smart. We're slower. We don't have the ability to retain knowledge, to figure out problems. So when you test someone with brain damage and you base them on that, then we're not that brain damaged. We were already slow. So we get a smaller payout. When I saw that story originally, I said, the NFL is really, really, and I say this as a lifetime football fan, it is a horrible organization when it comes to Black people. It makes its money off of Black players, it is horrible, horrible to those players and to the Black people in this country. It's like, what a horrible organization.
And Chris, this is an organization that has given life to so many people, and provided a generational wealth in some respects for Black people, but yet on the backs of Black people. And as you say, 70% of the NFL, Black players. Of 70% of the players are Black. You have so few Black head coaches. You have a minimal amount of general managers, and then of course talking about ownership of teams.
No ownership, and that's how I end the piece by saying that the fact that we as Black people still support this sport, maybe we aren't right in the head. Maybe we are a little slow.
Yeah.
Because why you any other business you would have been done stop supporting that business if that's the way they treated the black community.
That's right.
But we still support it because they have so many black faces on that field.
And Chris, as you say, we're going to be right back there in the stadiums on Sundays and Mondays and Thursday nights. We're going to be right back at the sports bars this year because now the lifts have been made in terms of the virus. And we're going to be right back in front of our wall-to-wall television sets with the family and friends over to watch this stuff. I'm still going to maintain my boycott of the NFL and with going from Colin Kaepernick until now. I just think that, this is just an awful way to make your money on the backs of black people. And then when you have already done something that you knew was wrong in terms of supporting their heads, their brains with
right. You didn't want to pay the $1 billion in the first place. They already fought it, saying that it didn't exist.
Right.
Lost that. You have to pay $1 billion, and then within that payment of $1 billion, let's do some more sinister shit and shortchange the black athletes who hurt their livelihoods, spent their livelihood getting brain damage playing your sport. Let's shortchange them on top of that.
And the lives that have been lost, men who have suffered and the brain damage, including, some of our all-time favorites. I know for me from the Chicago Bears, Dave Duerson, who committed suicide. And he had the presence of mind, and yet he knew something was wrong, but he had the presence of mind when he committed suicide. And I'm not saying, he knew better and that, when he did this, but he shot himself in the chest. He did not shoot himself in the head because he wanted people to go and to be able to analyze the destruction of his brain upon his death. It's just heartbreaking. It's just heartbreaking. And that this continues on so many different levels with our children and with our adults as well. The way that they have figured out a way to shortchange us every step of the way.
And just the culture of football. I mean, it being the real man sport. And when you're the real man sport, real men don't complain about injury. Right. Real men don't complain about so when you're that guy who used to be a real man of football, when you're not feeling right in the head, you're not saying anything about it. When you're having crazy thoughts that aren't normal for you, you're not saying anything about it. You're trying to beat it yourself before you're doing something extremly violent to yourself or somebody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And back in the day, how many fingers do I have up? 4, 5. Okay, you're good. Going back.
Right.
And all of this now that folks are still paying the price for. All right. So you referenced this earlier. Donald Trump was back on stage Saturday. It was not publicly aired, but it was shown. His return to the stage at the the North Carolina Republican Convention and state convention, and he spoke there. And what people got out of it is that Donald Trump apparently doesn't have the good sense that God gave most of those Republicans, which is to put your pants on right, or else is he wearing pull-ups these days? Because they were just they saw
you got the picture. Show them old SpongeBob backward pants. So
you know what we don't.
Okay. But you can tell.
Okay. We're going to get it.
Okay, there's no zipper. You can see the creases where your pants normally bend when you're wearing them correctly are all on his front thigh. Right. Which should be his back.
Right. It should be his knee, at the bend of his knee.
I said to my wife, maybe he had because before he went on stage, maybe he had some kind of accident or something.
Right.
So you got to think quick. So turn them billies around.
They turned him around.
Turn them around.
And which caused more.
Just remember to unzip him when he has to shit later.
Which is probably part of the problem, is that he's so used to pulling them down these days.
Right.
Yeah, he doesn't know. But yeah, that has been the discussion Saturday night, Sunday, and today. People still talking about it. So we'll get that picture so people can take Oh, here we go. Okay, if we
look at this clown.
So that's never the crease that men have in their pants.
No.
That's on the other side is usual the way that is.
No.
You see the zipper.
Do you see the zipper?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I don't see the zipper. I don't see the zipper.
This man is very strange.
He is. He
He's
is
very strange.
But
the fact that we're having a conversation of whether the last president of the United States knows how to put his fucking pants on. And it's possible because he was unable to do anything else right.
Right. So at the very least.
Right.
And he spent 90 minutes, Chris, not talking about his fashion wear, but talking about the past for the most part. He talked about what a great job he did as president, including the development of the COVID-19 vaccine. Okay. The other accomplishments, Wall Street, and how everyone's investments went up during those years, building the border wall, which he really didn't do. He built a part of the wall, but did not complete, as well as curtailing immigration and his tough stance on Iran and China, but not about his cuddle buddy and his relationship with Russia.
It sounds like he's due some of that NFL settlement because he's lost his damn mind.
Well, you know what? He's always had a hankering and a longing to be in the NFL ownership. So it does sound like he got out there one day with his boy Herschel Walker, perhaps, and did some headbutting and is paying the price of that. I'm not sure. And he also talked about, without naming her, Letitia James, and talked about the New York Attorney General's investigation into his business empire, calling it the ultimate fishing expedition and the latest attempts by Democrats to bring him down after 2 impeachment sagas when he was president. He said it's been a 5-year witch hunt, hoax after hoax, and they'll never stop until November of 2024. But let me ask you, Michael Stallworth, Trump must have been a crisscross fan. Yeah, sure. That's right. What he says. Okay. And after his kids gave him that reference, if they even knew who crisscross was. But let me ask you this. What do you think about not just about the possibility of him running for 2024, but what was floated last week by a Republican a conservative radio guy who suggested, as did Steve Bannon, that Donald Trump run for a congressional seat in 2022, and then hopefully have the Republicans back in force in the House and run for Speaker and take on Nancy.
Well, I heard that, and then I said to myself, I don't know if he didn't do any work when he was president. I'm about to say he doesn't work hard enough to be Speaker of the House. Speaker of the House at least has some duties.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but I mean the way Congress is right now, and one party is unable to get anything done, he could easily do Congress like he did the White House.
Yeah,
because for them it's all about not doing anything,
right?
Because if you get things done, you help American people. So I don't know.
He doesn't care about helping American people, but you definitely can, and you got enough flunkies. They can get things done if they want to, or they can continue to stall the way they have now, and for all the good that Kevin McCarthy is doing.
Yeah, but I don't know if he'll go for that a lesser job of Speaker of the House. He's used to sitting on the gold toilet. He wants to be in the big house.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. That would be a step down.
That means one of his people who are technically under him would have to be the Republican candidate for president, whether it's dipshit DeSantis or who else is on there? Who else are being floated around?
Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz. You think he's going to let them be president over him? Nah.
No, not Lion Ted. As crazy as he was about him, and he's. I don't think he's that crazy about DeSantis either. So you're right. He would not let them have the shine.
And how would it work? The person who has the most power and everybody's afraid of is not the head guy in the party. I don't know if that would work.
Right. But he needs something to keep his name out there, because obviously his little blog did not do the job.
He is mentally and physically close to being one of the band members in Chuck E. Cheese. I mean, He's close to just having two symbols crazy glued to his hands.
Oh my God, Chris, that is the funniest ever. Okay, all right. Speaking of incompetence in the United States government, Joe Manchin wrote an op-ed piece. Now, Joe Manchin is the Democrat in name only from West Virginia, the senator. He wrote an op-ed piece saying that he is voting against the For the People Act, that's SB 1, the Senate Bill 1, as well. He's going to vote against removing the filibuster, saying both would further divide the Senate. So he's talking about dividing the Senate. He's talking about this bill that would divide the Senate. He's talking about taking away the filibuster, which would divide the Senate. But he's not talking about the worthiness of this bill and what it does. He has taken away all common sense regarding what this bill will do, which is to take all of the nonsense, all of the horrible state bills that have been passed by the legislature and have them just taken away, neutered, if you will, by this federal bill, which will talk about enabling people to vote and giving Black people the rights that have been taken away from them.
I like what Reverend Barber tweeted about today. He was like, just follow the money with this Manchin guy.
Yeah.
Everything he's doing is to protect his dark money that comes in from donors, and the donors are tied to his daughter, who makes all this money from the EpiPen that she made 50 billion times more expensive.
Yeah, she tried to hold the people hostage with the price gouging of the EpiPen a few years ago.
Manchin doesn't care anything about the Democratic Party or the people of this country. He just cares about the money. I mean, going back to football, or any sport, you always hear about players beefing during training camp, and they got to. When is somebody that's going to snatch up Joe Manchin? Somebody in the Democratic Party behind closed doors, snatch him up and say, "Look, dude, I will fuck you up in here. You don't get your shit together."
Well, you would hope that
I'm trying to figure out which Democrat would be the best. Looks like a snatcher upper to you.
Nancy Pelosi. I thought
Hakeem Jeffries. Like,
you know what?
Look, man, I'm from New York, nigga.
You know what we do to
Manchin come out on second thought. I've decided.
Hakeem the Dream, get on that. Right. Congressman Jeffries, come on. Take him back there. You and Nancy duke him up and make him see right. Although they're all afraid. I gotta tell you, Ayanna Pressley, she's won. AOC and Hakeem.
Right. They're too busy watching their backs from Marjorie.
Taylor Greene.
That little Yosemite Sam, Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh my gosh, but you're right. Somebody just needs to duke him up, as they used to say on
this
on
is
the
ridiculous. This is critical. I think they're all afraid of completely offending him and offending the girl from is Arizona. Is that where she's from?
Sycamore, yeah.
Right. They're afraid that they'll jump ship maybe and go Republican.
Yeah.
Or so.
Yeah. I agree. And he says, and other people have said, he's just representing a lot of Democrats who don't, a handful of Democrats who feel the same way about the filibuster, who feel the same way about this bill. But I don't care. Then take them all back to the woodshed and beat some sense into them.
Right.
Just go ahead. You have my permission. And Joe has some people from Delaware who could do that job too. You know that. So
yeah, Delaware, they take you for a train ride. You never come back from.
Yeah, my friends take that other rail.
Give them a train ride.
Yeah. Today's question of the day, and this is referencing the woman in your TikTok video in Florida at the Outback, as well as referencing the couple on the freeway in Atlanta. What's the most outrageous thing you've ever done or seen in public? Those are both pretty outrageous to me. So thinking about that.
Outrageous thing I've seen.
Or done
in
public.
In public.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I can't even think right now. I'm trying to think of what I've done.
Oh, you've been so straight, Errol, your whole life. You never had sex in a dugout or anything. Oh, I'm sorry. Sharing too much. You've never done anything in public that
No.
No?
No, can't think of anything.
Okay, schoolboy Chris. All right.
How about yourself, Sybil?
Well, I think I just shared too much by places that I've done the deed in public, in the dugout of a baseball stadium.
I mean, I can't call it public sex if I was alone. It's not really.
Well, I can say that it was public because I was not alone. I can say that for me. Anybody else have any thoughts about the most outrageous thing you have seen or done in public? And this is, I have no idea who this is. So asking for people to give us a shout there. All right, while we're waiting, Brian. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Brian, I've seen that too. I've seen a white woman give oral sex to a man while driving. I have seen that too. Yeah. Was it a brother or was it a? Because if it was a brother, that could have been a long ride. So thank you, Brian Scott. I think that was on Facebook and other folks. Entertainment. We had a loss over the weekend.
Yeah.
Clarence Williams III, gone from Mod Squad. One black, one white, one blonde. You remember that? Lincoln Hayes. But also, beyond the small screen, he was also quite an accomplished actor on stage as well as on the big screen, playing Prince's dad.
That's Prince's daddy.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah, in Purple Rain. Yeah.
You got a girlfriend? You going to marry her? Don't we get married?
Why do men always remember those lines in particular? Huh?
Hey, we saw Apollonia. We said, nigga, you crazy? You better marry.
Clarence Williams III.
That's the craziest thing I saw. I saw Apollonia jump into Lake Minnetonka.
Right. Okay. So that is a crazy thing that many of us shared in, right?
That was pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Pretty crazy. Clarence Williams III was 81 years old. He died after a battle against colon cancer, according to his manager. And as I said, he began his career on stage at Broadway in the great outdoors. His performance in Slow Dance on the Killing Field won him a Tony nomination. And then he did a number of other theatrical performances. And do you remember who, I guess it's one of his ex-wives. Do you remember one of his ex-wives, Chris Paul?
No, I do not.
Do you remember Cagney and Lacey?
Oh, that's right. That's right. He was married to
the
short-haired woman. What's her name?
Yeah, Tyne Daly.
Tyne Daly. Yeah, that's right. That's right. Wow.
Lacey
Right.
was of the Cagney and Lacey duo,
Wow.
and they had a family. So it is. It's sad that he is no longer with us, but 81 years old. And
But the beauty in today's in the social media era that we are all in right now is that when a famous person passes away, you get to really see the outpouring of love for that person. Like celebrities have died forever, but it would just be you watch the story on the news and you maybe discuss it with your friends or whatever. But now to see all these other actors who work with them and just fans, you get to read everything they write about when somebody famous passes. It really is beautiful. It really is beautiful to know that they were really that loved.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. And the other side of that, Chris, is that as you have just pointed out, when these people die and we give them so much love, let's also consider doing that before that time comes, right. and give people their roses. Maurice, you're right. Maurice Rouse.
You're right. That's right.
Played the hell out of the devil part on Tales from the Hood. You're absolutely right. He was really a really great actor. And I'm glad people are remembering him for his many roles. So one of the most recent roles I remember is in The Butler. He played that, played a part in The Butler, which was the Lee Daniels movie, and talking about Tales from the Hood and other stuff like that. He really was quite good. Yeah. I thought she was it George Stanford Brown? Okay, well then that's my mistake. But I thought it was Clarence Williams III. Okay, my bad. I'm sorry. So Tyne Daly was a scratch the marriage to her. It was George Stanford Brown. Oh, you know why I'm thinking that? Yeah. So I'm thinking.
Regardless, Tyne Daly did a lot for the Black community.
No, he was also married to Gloria Foster. Remember her? Oh,
I don't know her. Who's that?
Another great Black actress. Okay. Yeah,
I'll look her up.
Yeah. George Stanford Brown, and I can't say they all look alike. But yeah, sorry about that. That was Tyne Daly's ex. All right, Chris, tell me your thoughts about the Mayweather spectacle over the weekend.
Again, I didn't watch it because I'm not paying for no bullshit. But I will watch plenty of videos on social media when it's all over. And as soon as it was done, there was plenty of video to be seen. I saw Chad Ochocinco get knocked down, but actually I saw clips also where Chad Ochocinco was serving up some dude. So that seemed to be a good fight.
Okay, so do we know who some dude was?
No, I think he's an actual fighter. An actual professional fighter that Chad Ocho got in there with. And so
and in those lower card fights, do they make any money?
I don't know. I have no idea. But I know Floyd got his money.
Oh, yeah.
You better believe Floyd was not stepping in the ring
unless
he was getting paid. And I mean, the Logan, was it Logan Paul? I think he fought. He's applauding himself for just surviving and going the distance. And Floyd said the boy was better than he thought he was. So I mean, Floyd didn't embarrass himself. I mean, if you want to say that Floyd is embarrassed himself just by even stepping in the ring with this guy, but I mean, what other fights are there for Floyd right now? Floyd's he's a businessman. I mean, imagine getting a call. Hey, we want to give you whatever it is, $20 million to fight some YouTube guy.
Yeah.
For 8 rounds. Yeah, he's like, yeah, I'll do it. Yeah. He hardly trained. He came in heavier than he's ever fought before in his life. Right. Had a beard,
Yeah.
And he won. I mean,
looking like a quarantine boxer.
Right. He couldn't. I mean, man, it wasn't even a sanctioned fight. So even if he had gotten knocked out, it would never have counted on his record. It was just a way to make money for him. So hey, and people were looking for entertainment. I mean, I know. I talked to Tom yesterday. He was going to watch the fight.
Yeah, of course.
I know plenty of people watched it. So, and I saw was it Stephen A. Smith or someone this morning saying that the real boxers need to learn from this. You need to learn how to promote yourself the way these Logan Paul and his brother promote themselves on social media to make people want to pay to watch your fight.
Right.
Because that's the problem. I thought this years ago. I'm like, boxing is a dying sport because all the big stars were gone, all the big stars in boxing are gone. They've got to adopt some wrestling tactics. The way, wrestlers, they know how to hype themselves and create, even if you like another boxer, you guys have got to act like you hate each other.
Right.
Who knew how to do that? Conor McGregor.
Okay.
Conor McGregor, it was horrible. It was horrible him making racial slurs.
Yep.
Against Floyd. But you know what? It made brothers pay for the fight because they want to see Conor McGregor getting it right.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, Floyd and Conor McGregor are hugging and laughing.
Right, because the laugh was on us.
Right, you gotta have some show business in your boxing. Muhammad Ali knew that.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody can sell a fight like Muhammad Ali.
Chris, I'm being asked to ask you: is this video funny or sexy? I don't understand. Or scary? What is the video?
Let me see the funny, sexy, scary video.
The funny or scary?
Oh, no, 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 no.
That's not. This is a Yolanda.
Who wrote that? Stephen King?
Is that funny or scary to you?
Very scary.
It's scary.
Very scary.
No, we don't want to see it again. I don't want to. Do you want to see it again, Chris?
No. Never again.
That was Yolanda's contribution. She's been wanting to get that on, so good for you. I want to give a couple of birthday shout outs. Happy birthday to Dawn H.R. Frederick's mom, 85 yesterday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. And also today is the 15th birthday of Flybaby number 1.
Wow.
That is Griffin L. Joyner is 15 today.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So happy birthday to you, Griffin.
He's not old. Old.
Right? And next year, I'm looking to see what Fly Pop's going to get her for her 16th, what kind of ride she's going to get. That's what I'll be looking for. Whether it'll be a Maserati or some other nice ride. Thank you, Chris Paul. I so appreciate you.
Thank you.
I'm glad you're back safe and sound. I'm glad you guys had a wonderful vacation, as you would have under Tom Joyner's generosity. He really, when you go on vacation with Tom, it's really unlike any other vacation you'll ever.
Thank you for having me. Everybody follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at Chris Paul Comedy. And Huggy Lowdown will be back next week. He's in bed right now drinking his medicine.
Chris, you have any gigs coming up that you want to share? People getting up and about as we are moving?
I can't remember what's coming up next, but I know we got a couple dates that we just got solidified for next month, like Jacksonville. We're coming back to Jacksonville Comedy Zone. I think that's like the weekend of the 15th or something like that. Mm-hmm. So all of our folks down in Jacksonville, get your tickets right now at the Comedy Zone.
Awesome. And before we leave, it is time for, I'm not sure if you want to harmonize on this, but it is time for Yogi's Jewels.
Yogi's Jewels. They're the kind of things they ought to teach in school. But they don't, so we all walk around like fools.
Come on.
Use it as a tool. Yogi's Jewels.
Oh, beautiful. Beautiful. Snap. Today's inspiration is, if you want to have peace, have faith. And that's P-E-A-C.
I have faith that I'll have a peace later.
Bye, Chris Paul.
Bye, I love you.
I love you back. Thank you so much. Tomorrow's Tuesday, J. Anthony Brown Day. I noticed he's not wearing, I thought it was a J. Anthony Brown Hotter Than a Mofo shirt, but it's
Sriracha.
Thank you so much. Best to everybody. See you tomorrow.